Welcome back. It is Monday, December 16th in the NBA. My two best bets are on the way, including a 1.5 unit play. We'll dive into that in just one moment. But if you are new, my name's Austin. As always, we begin with a recap of how we did the previous day, and it was a 2-1 day. We'll certainly take it. We had Jalen Brunson's over in points for 1 unit, sweat free, scored over 30. Our other 1 unit play was that parlay with Ja Morant at 20 points and Cat 10 plus rebounds. I wish I flipped those. Cat 20 rebounds, Morant 10 plus, but hey, we'll take it. Cat 22 rebounds. Morant, he tried his hardest to not get 20 points. He ended up coming through in the final 30 seconds. I didn't watch any of that game. All I was box score watching. Be like, Ja Morant missed layup. Ja Morant missed jump shot. Ja Morant missed three. Like, what are we doing? I think he shot 6 for 21. But hey, we'll take it. We did lose our Pelicans play. They just didn't shoot the ball well. You're not going to cover as an underdog shooting in the 30%. But either way, hey, that was just a half unit play. We'll take a 2-in-1 day, back-to-back winning days. Let's start the week with another winning day. Right before this video's getting posted a little bit later because I had a long day yesterday. I went to a musical with my in-laws, and that was about 3.5 hours away. So I didn't get back till 1:30 a.m. last night, but I dove in and found a play I love. We're going to dive into it, but I wanted to say our NFL video was posted right before this one. So a couple plays over there in the NFL. This NFL card today, one of my favorite ones we've had all season. I really think it's a winning one. So I encourage you to go check that out. I'll link it down below at the top of the description. 2 Monday Night Football games. Let's dive into things, though. I'll begin with my 1.5 unit play, my only player prop of the day. Then I'll throw it to Logan for a spread pick. And then at the end of the video, I'll talk about all the other games that I did not talk about or have a play in, because this is not my favorite slate, but I really like this play, and it's 1.5 units. I'll give you a chance to guess who it is. I don't think anyone's going to guess who this guy is. It is Aaron Gordon of the Denver Nuggets, over 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists, -120 on Bet365. Now, some people are, and this is a 1.5 unit play. I don't want to do 2 units. I like it more than 1 unit, so I'll stick at 1.5 units. Now, I'd play it for 1.5 units at 22.5. Personally, I feel like the line should be closer to 24.5 if I was the one making it. I don't know an individual line for Aaron Gordon, because there's a world where he scores 20 points tonight. There's also a world where he gets the 10 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He could get 10 plus rebounds. He can do a bunch of different things. That's kind of Aaron Gordon's game. He's kind of a guy that you throw in there and he does the dirty work and does what he needs to do. But I really like this spot for him. Now, if you look at his last 2 games, you're like, dude, he soared under. Those are also 2 games that weren't even competitive. I mean, where you had 2 blowouts back to back. Now they're in Sacramento. They're underdogs as the Nuggets, or I believe they're short underdogs. I think this is a spot we see Aaron Gordon have a pretty big game and a lot of minutes played, largely because of his on-ball defense. He's probably going to be the guy that defends DeMar DeRozan. If I were the Nuggets, I'm probably putting him on DeMar DeRozan, and while sure that could lead to some foul trouble, I also like it on the others on the weak side. If we talk about DeMar DeRozan, what is he not great at doing? 3-point shooting. He shoots like 32%, shoots like 2 threes per game. So you should see Aaron Gordon be able to sag off him, and hopefully that leads to some longer rebounds going his way. And I really like this spot for him. We've seen him play pretty well against Sacramento. Now, granted, let's keep in mind these are different teams, but his last 6 games against Sacramento, 32, 19, 27, 19, 42, and 29 PRAs, going over in 4 of 6. One of the games he didn't get it done. He shot 4 for 10, which is unlike him. Another game he just didn't, I don't even think he played 30 minutes. The last few games, sure, you'd say 23 minutes apiece, but again, they won one of them by 30. The other one, they were up by 30. I don't even think he came in the 4th quarter. So I look at this game. We have an over-under set to 237.5, and I like this spot for him to score, but also do all the other things. We think about who's going to probably guard him on defense. Probably going to be DeMar DeRozan, and we've seen, hey, if Jokic sees Aaron Gordon with a smaller guy on him, he's going to throw it up there. And I just don't think Jamar can contest those. And if he ever gets any switches on guys like Malik Monk or De'Aaron Fox, you're going to see him throw it up to him there too. So I think he can score in that dunker spot here, given Jokic and Sabonis. Those guys are going to be banging around. You're going to see Sabonis have to get outside of the paint to defend Jokic. And we can see some lobs over the top. Also, where do the Sacramento Kings really struggle with? Spot up shooting. And while, yes, you might think, hey, Aaron Gordon's not a 3-point shooter, and I don't disagree with you, but if there's going to be guys left open in the corner, it is going to be Aaron Gordon and it's going to be Christian Brown. I think the guy that's going to be leaving it open, guys, is DeMar DeRozan. He's going to be sagging off of Aaron Gordon, being like, hey, shoot the 3. We could see Aaron Gordon make 2 or 3 threes tonight. Really wouldn't shock me at all. I don't bet on 3-point props, at least for the next few days, because I swear every time I do, they shoot 1 for 100. But I think he gets some open opportunities, and even if they're sagging off, he can maybe do some backdoor cuts, or again, get into that dunker role, which is where he thrives. And my last note, Aaron Gordon is over this line in 8 of 12 games this season. And he's over in 7 of 8 with 25 or more minutes, averaging 29 PRAs. He has not played a ton of minutes so far this season, but when he does get the minutes, and he does get, obviously he was dealing with a little bit of an injury there, but when he gets the spot and he gets the minutes, he typically plays pretty well. Now, you might look at his season-long stats and be like, Austin, these aren't that good, and I get that. But again, he has been a little bit injured, been involved in some games that just are a little bit weird, come off the bench here and there. This is a spot I think his on-ball defense is needed, given, the versatility of this Kings offense. I really like this spot for Aaron Gordon. 1.5 units on his over in PRAs. I don't have a great lean on which one I would go to because, as I said, Aaron Gordon get 5 or more assists. He could also get 10 or more rebounds. He could also score 15 to 20 points. I love this spot here. I think you'll see him on DeMar DeRozan, vice versa. I love that spot for Aaron Gordon to take advantage of that mismatch. I really like Aaron Gordon over in PRAs, 21.5. Let's hope that game stays competitive for 1.5 units. Now, before I ramble about some more games, I'm going to throw it to Logan. He has a spread pick he loves for half a unit. So, Logan, the floor is yours.
We had a really tough L yesterday with Pelicans. Oh my gosh, shooting abysmal from the field in the 30% range. You're not going to cover a lot of spreads that way, especially in the underdog role, but that's okay. I have a home underdog I really like today, and it's the Detroit Pistons, plus 5.5, minus 115 odds on BetMGM, currently your best value. Let's bounce back with this pick. I really do like the Pistons in this spot. They've played the Heat twice. One game they won outright at home. The other was they lost by 8, and that was in Miami. Detroit is 9-6 against the spread after a loss. Their last game was a 24-point loss in Boston, not even really close in that game. So I do like them to bounce back and have a more competitive game. Even if they want to win this one outright, I could see potential for that. But now back at home, Detroit doesn't play again until Thursday, also at home. So they got a nice extended week at home. Should be feeling comfortable, sleeping in their own bed and everything like that. On the flip side, Miami, just 4-8 against the spread after a win. And on the road, I really don't like them in this spot. Miami is off a win in their most recent game. But they don't really string together wins and covers. That's why you see that ATS record so bad. And over the last 3 games, the Heat and Pistons are allowing an identical 38% opponent percentage from 3. Why do I bring that up? Well, the Heat do shoot a lot of threes. They attempt a lot, and they do make a lot. In the last matchup where Detroit won, Miami still outshot Detroit from 3. Barely, but they did outshoot them from 3. The difference in that game was the free throw line, and the Pistons were 24 for 28 from the free throw line. That was huge because that's really what propelled them to victory in that one. Not only did they get to the line, they also shot really well from there. Miami is 16th in points allowed in the paint. Why do I bring that up? Because if Detroit takes and makes high percentage shots, gets to the line, I really do like their chances to cover. I don't want them to get into a shooting from 3 contest with Miami, but even if they do, like I said earlier, the Heat have sort of allowed opponents to shoot the 3 and make the 3. So again, I see a lot of pathways for Detroit to cover in this one. Getting 5.5, that's not a nothing number. It's not like this game's a pick 'em. I do like the Pistons plus 5.5. Keep those back points in our pocket. I'd love if they won outright, but that's my favorite pick of the day. Austin, throwing it back to you though.
And I like the Pistons play. I like it. We backed up before. They've come through. I like that play too for a half unit. And Aaron Gordon's over in PRAs for 1.5 units. Those are only 2 plays. Rest of the video, I'm going to talk about the other games. I don't have a graphic. I didn't make one because I want to get this video out ASAP since it's a little bit later. But I will talk about all the other games that we talked about that, well, you don't have an official play in and why I don't have a ton of confidence in those games. Now, from just looking at the NBA as a whole, tomorrow we only have 1 game on. That's the NBA in-season tournament championship. Wednesday, we don't even have a single game. Thursday, we get like 600 games. Friday, only a few. And then Saturday, a big slate. So the NBA schedule's been really weird the last few weeks. Hopefully, it kind of starts to even itself out. It won't because we have the NBA Christmas games and all that stuff. But either way, let's talk about the other games. Sixers versus Hornets. What do you want from me? We have Joel Embiid on one side. He is now out with his sinus fracture. And I hate the Sixers as is. Then you have LaMelo Ball on the other side. Could be returning. I doubt he does, but he could be. Well, we got no props for the Hornets, so I'm really not getting involved there. Then Miami and Detroit. I didn't really look at a lot of props in that game. I didn't want to double down on or go against what Logan was saying. I also just not a lot of love in that game. Then we moved to Chicago versus Toronto. On Toronto side, not a lot of injury news besides the guys that have already been out. But on my Chicago side, Vucevic and Zach LaVine. both on the injury report. So, and that game has a high total, 240.5. But I feel like the Toronto side is the only side I'd go to for props. But I feel like those are all at reasonable numbers. So you could target RJ Barrett assists, but that's 6.5. You could target his points, but it's 25.5. Grady Dick's at 19.5. So all the lines are inflated given the total of 240.5. I just don't see much value there. Then we go to Cleveland versus Brooklyn. On Cleveland's side, you should see the return of Evan Mobley. Maybe you go there. But again, Cleveland, not a team I really bet a lot of props on because you got four guys. You got Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. Jared Allen, maybe not a guy that I would say scores 20 plus points, but can. And then off the bench, you got Karis LeVert. I don't think Max Strus is back yet. Just not a team I bet on. And then on the Brooklyn Nets side, disgusting. We just traded away Dennis Schroeder. Who is playing point guard for this team? Shake Milton. Shake Milton's in there. Bet. I'm in on Shake Milton. But I love Shake. And maybe we'll be betting on Shake props in the next few days. But I just can't get there with the Nets. Denver and Sacramento, we already talked about. And then Utah versus the Clippers. Utah, again, now that Jordan Clarkson's back, you got Clarkson. You got off the bench. You got Sexton. You got George, Markkanen, John Collins. That's five guys I just listed that if one of them scored 20 points tonight or multiple did, wouldn't shock you. The problem is who the heck is the one that's scoring 20 points tonight? Also, they just don't seem to be competitive half the games. And then on the other side, you got the Clippers who James Harden, sure, I could bet on Norm Powell again, but he just wrecked us. I just hate the slate. And I hope that is conveyed over my last few minutes of just rambling about the games. I tried to get there. I spent about an hour or so looking, maybe more than that, like 2 hours trying to figure out what I would want to bet. But there just isn't a lot that I like here. It's just, yeah, I hope you understand. It's just, I can't get there. I want to. I wanted to force another pick, but there's just not a lot of confidence here. So I'll stick with my 1.5 units on Aaron Gordon. Hope to go 1-0 there. Hope to cash Logan's spread pick, go 2-0, bring out the brooms tomorrow. That's all I want. So I hope that makes sense. Hopefully you enjoyed my rambling of these games because, man, we have like every team that I don't like betting on is basically on the slate. So not a great one, but let's hope Aaron Gordon respects our money. The Pistons do too. And then hopefully we dominate in the NFL video, which I will throw up right over here. Go check it out. Go find my favorite picks in the NFL today. Ladder challenge-wise, I'm pretty confident we'll be running it back. Bad reads yesterday in that Lions game, but we're running it back. We'll have another one probably posted later today. Maybe a combo of NBA and NFL. Maybe just NFL. I'm going to go cook it up with Logan right now. You guys have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.